You see, I was over here about to record this Baki video, right? But here's the thing, where I was about to script it, but I couldn't really think of anything to say. Because Baki is Baki, right? Like, if you've watched Baki, then you know what Baki is. If you haven't watched Baki, then you should be watching Baki, because Baki is a really good fighting shonen that in season 3 has gotten a lot more gory, but that is due to, number one, it being on Netflix, as opposed to like TV or OVA or whatever, and two, it's telecom, so we also have better looking animation, and there's a lot more detail than there was in the prior 2 seasons of Baki. I wanted to write out and like type out like a recommendation, but I really couldn't, because the only thing I could really say about Baki is it's Baki and you have to watch Baki. It's manly dudes fighting, but it's not just JoJo manly dudes fighting. It's like superhuman, sort of grounded in reality fighting, martial arts. It's worth it. I really don't know what else to say. Like, I was gonna edit out a video, I was gonna type out this long script, and blah 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 blah, but I didn't. Also, I leave for like college tomorrow, because I have summer classes, which is the other reason why I didn't type out this script. So I'm just kind of talking off the noggin. So yeah, for anybody watching this on YouTube, there's a link in the description to what was going to be the intro of this video, but I couldn't upload that as the intro to this video because YouTube copyright. That's a thing, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get past it, so I just uploading this audio and I guess like some video or whatever. And if you look in the description, the intro to this video was actually what I've spent most of the time working on. Didn't script much because I didn't really have anything to script, like I just said. Baki's really good. It's well animated now. It looks much better than it did these previous 2 seasons, because the previous 2 seasons of Baki were very still heavy. Even in fights, you didn't get a lot of animation per se. It was all really basic. But TMS has done a really good job, or Telecom has done a really good job. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The OST is really good. The directing is great. The gore, I don't know how to feel about, because on one hand, I think that it definitely fits the series, but on the other hand, it's a stray in the sense that the gore in previous seasons of Baki and the use of blood and things of that sort wasn't very often, like it wasn't a very common thing. So when blood was present and gore was present, there was this sense of real dread and terror, and I feel as if that's not necessarily nullified or desaturated in this season of Baki, but it's definitely not as prominent as it was in other seasons, because there's a lot of it so far. Now, if that changes, that's whatever, but as of now, I would say that would probably be like my only complaint, that there's might be a little too much gore, and but to be fair, I understand that these are the 5 biggest like prisoners or fighters in the world, so for the sake of like context, or in the context of the story, them being savage and having all this gore makes a lot of sense, and their reveals are all super shocking and their introductions are all super shocking, so I guess I understand it. It's just not something that I'm quite used to yet within this series. I think that's really about it. I thought episode 3 was hilarious. Oh, here's the other thing. Like I said, I'm just going off the top of my head. I have no script. In terms of subtitles, if you have not watched the episodes or you're waiting for the episodes, episode 3 by Vaughn on Niasi, I'll put a link in the description. I know I'm not really supposed to be linking that stuff, but I'll put a link in the description, is very well subtitled. There is one error, or there's one really big error, and you'll probably catch it if you're caught up to the series. If you're not, then whatever, you're probably just looking for a recommendation. If that's the case, you should watch the first 2 seasons of Baki and then come back to this one, or go to the manga, or whenever the manga stops for this. But I've heard that there's not translations for the manga, so you'll probably just have to marathon through the series. It's like 48 episodes, like the first season's 24, second season's 24, so it's not that bad. But yeah, if you back to the subtitles, if you haven't seen the subtitles by Vaughn, they're good. I didn't watch his first 2 episodes. I watched the spring anime like 2018's, and their subs are awful. But you can kind of like interpret it. I don't know how well Vaughn's are like in the first 2 episodes, but his 3rd episode subs were really good, so you can should go check them out. That's it. I don't really have anything else to say. Like I said, I'm rambling. I'm pulling a chibi where I'm just repeating myself. So I'll see you guys later. Deuce.